Yes, we understand that this is not an overwhelming feeling for you, but a sense of duty, of service, as well as the pressure and the reluctance to feel the emotions of being connected to people who are on the old earth, because the awareness of the anxiety, the stress, and the heightened sense of vulnerability and survival mode. And so we understand that you have been reluctant and resistant to explore this content further because of your own barriers that you are trying to put up for your own emotional protection. And so this is purposeful for you to now explore all of the situations that will be felt on the old earth so you can then report back and be able to have profound compassion for those who have been so brave enough to have put this on their life contract for them to experience this. And while they are currently experiencing it for themselves, being part of that experience for at individual level, as well as the groups that they will form, the information shared that we want them to be able to hear through this channel, through this literature that we are creating and co-creating with you for the purpose of being able to give guidance and support to those who are able to find and share and learn from the content we would like to provide for them. We understand it is quite a big step for them to accept or even consider that there is advanced beings who have been watching and serving humanity from our perspective and from our position in the stratosphere to be able to monitor and encourage and guide and protect and be of profound service that is really going unnoticed by the majority. And those who are aware of us, this is purposeful because they need to be able to do their own roles and fulfill their own duties. So it is, regardless of what you have in your life contract and what you have signed up for, it's the journey that is the most important, to be able to have those experiences and expand upon them, to be able to learn and grow. And this is very purposeful. We have said this many times. We want to reiterate this now. To go through something as your own personal journey has much more growth and experiences to build upon versus reading it in a book. And so, even though we know that this material is going to be written into a written form, we want the concepts to be given to people that they can ponder, so they can understand the purpose of life. Being a multi-dimensional being, which means that you have many extensions of yourself, considering that there is no such thing as time in a linear format. Time is occurring simultaneously. So the people in your, in quotation marks, past and the people in your future are still, it is occurring all at the same time. There is no past, there is no present, there is no future as such, when you're looking at it from different angles and perspectives, and you only just have the, in quotation marks, now moment. And what you're experiencing it now is what you are supposed to be observing. And while you think you are going to be reflecting on the past as an abstract, as soon as you start thinking about your own past, you bring the emotions with you. So this is, we're very off topic here with this conversation now, But we are wanting to let people know that everything in existence is happening in this very moment. And the time and how you perceive time, how you count time, and how you refer to time is a man-made construct. The reality is, from our perspective, the time frame that you have here on this planet is going to run its course, and it is free flowing from that, and it is going to evolve as it should do, knowing that everything is totally uh, everything is totally as it should be in order. There is chaos and serenity, and that is in perfect order. The universal laws must have both extremes to be able to find neutral and balance. It doesn't have to always be in high extremes or low extremes. There can always be different levels of emotions as you choose to explore them, but if you are experiencing them, you must experience the emotions along the way. Just because you stubbed your toe and you're reacting and experiencing that pain doesn't mean that that pain is going to be with you for the rest of your life. If you want to focus on that pain, you will keep having that pain until you take your focus off from it. And so the pain from your past will still be with you if you keep focusing on it and rethinking it, refeeling it over again in many cycles and loops. We want to say to you that you cannot see really into your future as much as you would like to. There is great purpose for that. Because if you knew your future and you felt like, when you suddenly realize that it's, you don't have free will, and the illusion of having free will is taken from you, that is incorrect. Assumptions from a human mindset. You have made all the decisions to get you to your future. So it's already been done. So you are thinking that your free will has been taken from you when really you've already made those decisions in the future to be able to make that occurrence happen. We understand that this is confusing for many when they are saying, well, how can I have why do I need to have the experience if I've already had the experience in the past and in the future? And it becomes convoluted, extremely convoluted. But when you take yourself out of the time frame of the experiences and step into a higher dimension, you see that it is all just a natural, not loop, but it's already occurred, already happening, and is continually happening from our perspective. It is how time travel can occur. This is how many things can occur that you haven't been able to consider even possible. It is not our desire today to explain to you how all of the metaphysical realm works and how you must perceive things in an infinity sign of lessons and circles and cycles. But it is important for us to get the concept that there is much more than you perceive happening. And you're one experience here right now on this planet. Now, for the people who are listening in the real time on the, in quotation marks, day that we are saying this, and will be published, and you will be able to hear it on YouTube and other online services. And for the people in the, in quotation marks, future events who are going to be reading this in book format, regardless of whatever format that is presented to you, we are wanting you to know that while everyday life may be struggling, it is an experience for you. Your attitude will give you a great day or a hard day. how you perceive the challenges. Are you going to feel defeated and overwhelmed, or are you going to feel like you're mastering it and seeing that this is merely just living out life as you need to explore and experience everything that you have asked for, and to be able to make the most out of it? You could have in your life contract to have a very miserable attitude in life, and to always see the negative in everything. That could be your life contract. But you will know in your heart, with your moral compass, what you should be doing. And you know when life is very easy and joyful, and it seems that there's not that many obstacles. That is when you are moving forward and doing as you need to do. You have to accept life is not fair, but what is in your control is to see how you react to things. You are in complete control of your reactions. Be observant of your knee jerk reactions that have been created by past, and you are simply repeating a cycle of your reactions emotionally. Be accountable for the way you choose to act. And instead of having a reaction, think about how you feel when you know things are merely playing out for the experiences. If you've already mastered drama, if you've already mastered self sabotage, then maybe you want to have a different experience and take control of things that way. When you realize the power of your mind, and when you see that you can manifest a lot of abundance and a lot of insight and support and protection, when you realize that you can master life that way, you will stop focusing on the lower emotions. You will stop feeding into the lack mentality. You will stop manifesting drama and isolation and alone. And we want to confirm to the people on the old earth, when you are meeting others, they are also diligently wanting to experience this perspective of the planet. And this is a very important, significant time for you all to seize the day and to come together to be able to survive with safety, knowing you can trust each other. And that is a profound experience, to trust each other, to trust yourself that you will not betray others and you will not betray yourself, to be able to know that you can deeply, with great compassion, love each other, support each other, protect each other, be diligent and loyal. And those emotions and experiences are not often able to be attained in your normal day reality prior to the shift and to the events. So you're able to see that the people that are in your lives are of great significance. Of course, we could say that to people right now. Everyone in your life is so important and significant to you because they're offering you growth of experiences, one of support, so you can trust that you deserve the support and honor the support. And one is to trigger, so you can learn where you still have weaknesses and strengths. Growing from a triggering experience, which is making you want to have that natural reaction, is very important for you to be more focused and aware of your emotions that simply just come out and come out without thinking about them. You often will walk and breathe and do everything on just intuitively and automatically without thinking. Left foot, right foot, I am walking. Left foot, right foot, I am moving. You don't think those things, but you just do it naturally. And we're saying that many people don't think about their reactions, they just do it naturally. And so being able to take a moment to look at your behaviors and your reactions Are these old patterns that are no longer serving you? Are they old belief systems that are not serving you? When you love yourself profoundly, you have confidence in yourself profoundly, you don't take things as personally as you once did. If someone's projecting their issues onto you, most would assume there is truly an issue with you. When you love yourself and you know that you don't have insecurities and you're not people pleasing anymore and you know who you are, you do not buy into someone else's projection of your lack or your accountability for something that you know you are completely empowered with. There's a difference between someone who has done their good inner work, who has strengthened themselves up through uh, epic experiences to learn and grow from, and to be able to have an empowerment and belief system of that they are a loving being, that they have deep, profound compassion for others, and they know their integrity um, um, of their approaches to life, versus the people who have big egos, who think that they don't need to do any inner work, that they think that they can fool people and trick people and manipulate people to get them to do what they want to do. And those people will also be there triggered. They will have to experience empowering themselves and not pushing others around to be able to help them. To when you're in survival mode, you really have to have a profound going within moments, weeks, days, months, because you have to really be quite heightened. And if you can't trust yourself, you're going to really struggle. And so everyone must have to trust themselves profoundly first, after going through such an epic experience after the shift, to really think why. They will go through guilt and doubt and fear and worry and all their lower emotions. They will have to be honest with themselves about why they survived. Why did they survive and all the other people that they know didn't? And it will have to be a very sobering conversation that they have to have with themselves. They will reflect profoundly of all of their actions. And when you are so busy in your day-to-day lives, distracting yourselves from spirituality and your inner work, you can easily convince yourself not to have time to be able to actually go and do your inner work. And so when you find yourself alive on this planet when more than half of humanity has disappeared and has appeared to be departed and deceased from this event, when you notice animals have disappeared and have died too, when you know that profoundly something very, very, very big has happened, and you're going through all of your grief and trauma, and you're feeling all of those insanely intensive feelings, there is many emotions that you will process as you're exploring all of this. And the worry about you deserving this and that this is happening to you because of something you have done will come into play at one point or another. Of course, we are talking to many people right now, so we understand we cannot give everyone a guide by guide below of their emotional steps. But there will be many emotional steps that people will take as they are processing and understanding what events have unfolded. No one has done anything, in quotation marks, bad to deserve being left on the old earth. This is not a punishment. This is merely an experience and a lesson that you all have signed up for in your life contracts. You have all wanted this experience. No one was left behind by accident. It is purposeful. Everything you're going to experience, profoundly experience, everything's going to be very heightened, and it is going to be intensive feelings of emotions, all of the ranges of emotions. Many people will feel like they will not be able to be happy, feel joy, or feel proud of themselves, or have any positive feelings, because the intensity of feeling we must be in profound grief for what's happened. We must feel all these emotions, and then there will be others that are saying we should feel happy. We should feel so lucky and privileged, and feel so lucky to be alive. And this statement will trigger many. How can I feel lucky to be alive when so many people I know are not here anymore? How can this be lucky? How can be surviving this be anything but a punishment? The emotions of this will linger on so deeply when you're all trying to figure out what has happened and why. And we can tell you all why. You will maybe not be able to process it and accept it. In our perspective, it has one of lack of emotions, because we are not in a density and in a dimension that dwells on the lower emotions, the heavier density emotions that you are all experiencing and do experience on planet Earth. This is a unique planet in this way right now, how heavy you are all, and how used to having the reactions of the lower emotions of jealousy, anger, resentment, victim mode, all of these emotions that some people still focus on as they want to distract themselves from doing their inner work. They're all purposeful to experience those emotions. You want to be able to experience them all. But when you start adding spirituality in your life, you can't keep using the same old excuses time and time again, because spirituality is making you see and grow your consciousness to realize that there is more than just this one life, and there's more than just this planet, and there is more than just humanity that is existing. There is so much more to learn. We want to say that for some of the beings, the people who are left on the old Earth, did want to experience the ending of the planet in a form of they had other lifetimes where they were part of the creation of this planet, and the architects and the blueprints to be able to design it well. And they want to be here at the end to be able to support the planet and to see how it goes, to support the beings who want to be there, to explore after the shift, to profoundly experience those intense emotions, which you cannot have in any other situation. With most natural disasters in singularity that you may experience a small flood or a small hurricane or a small earthquake, but everything will eventually rebuild and be back to normal, because it's only localized to just your area at that time that is having these events. But you know, it will heal. You have the same infrastructures, everything's still going on. There may be some delays, but it's small scale compared to what is about to occur. And after the shift happens, the thought of having to rebuild humanity, with it being so broken and fractured, this is the systems all collapse, and you have to form new systems within the communities that you form and build into, because you need the company and like the company and feel more reassured when you have the company of others. You will keep to small groups for a while, And those small groups for a while are significant because you have to feel others' emotions, you have to grow with them, you have to keep yourself together and not have a complete big breakdown because you're wanting to support each other. Having big breakdowns is fine, that is an experience that we don't judge on, but it's building yourself up after the breakdowns that is the most experience that you will and growth that you could obtain from having such an emotional experience. There is still so much that we want to say, and we would be interested to hear specifically your questions that you have so we can so we can share direct more information and content for you. uh, we know that the people who are trying to come to terms with how did no one warn them about this, we want to say you were not ready, you were not allowed to be forewarned in the majority, and those people who were forewarned, they did not want to accept that reality. They did not really know how to prepare themselves, even though they feel prepared. It is like having a newborn baby. You feel like you are prepared. You think that nothing's going to really change you too much and it will be manageable. But it's not until that newborn baby comes into your life and all those feelings that instantly happen and are formed by that baby, and how your life routine completely changes around that newborn baby. You can't truly prepare and plan how your life is going to be once the arrival happens. And this is the case with the event. Once the event does occur, you are all going to just have to continue on, and it will be incredibly shocking in many ways. But as soon as you start realizing you're not the only one that has experienced this, you will be able to support each other. The more you find each other, and the more you support each other, the more the connection and the community and the problems are shared and supported. And you will be able to hear each other profoundly and support each other profoundly. And you will, as time grows, realize the true depths of emotions. You will realize the true depths of connections with others. And you will realize the true inner thought and wisdom and connections you have with yourself. Knowing that you also have a spiritual team, knowing that you have many guides supporting you and helping you and encouraging you, and through spirituality and through going within, calling us on, having conversations with us, and trusting the first thing that comes to your feelings and thoughts, knowing that we have never abandoned you, nor would we, and that everything you're experiencing is exactly what your greater soul wanted to experience. It is profound. We don't want you to go into fear. We want you to accept that life always has cycles. You always knew when, as soon as you were aware of the life cycles, there is birth and growth and experiences and expansions, and then the later part of the cycle is death. But in the majority, cultures want to make death taboo and scary and something you should be afraid of. And when you're afraid of dying, you don't spend much time living and focusing on living because you're constantly trying to focus on not dying. And we would love it for you all to focus on living and living and living and making sure you don't miss any beautiful moments, making sure you don't miss any miracles or emotions or feelings that come into your mind that you can enjoy. We have so much to say, and we understand that we can't cover everything in this moment. So we will leave it with you now to be able to reflect on where else you would like us to expand, to help you, to be able to give you more concepts and understanding and more information and answers. So we will leave this with you today, and we say this with much love.